Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to apply UV DTF in 2 different ways on a glass can. Let's get into it. So today I'm taking 16-ounce glass tumblers, and I purchased these transfer sheets from a small business owner on TikTok. So I'm just showing you these different transfer sheets that I have, but I will be using just 2 today. But I did have the option of choosing which ones that I wanted to use before purchasing, so that was really nice of her. I really do like the different options, and this is her business card, Crafty Designs by Carolina, and she also has her information on the back of the card, which is nice. It also comes with her business information as well, and also a transfer application instructions so you can know how to apply it, how to apply the transfer sheets on the glass can. So I thought that that was a really nice touch as well, especially as a beginner like me who has never applied any kind of thing to a glass tumbler. So this was also a great addition. She also included an alcohol prep pad. This is a 70% alcohol prep pad, but you can use a 91% alcohol. I decided to use the prep pad that came with her order that she sent me, just because it was what she provided for me. I did choose 2 of them, so I just used the donuts and hearts, and then the coffee fueled by sarcasm, because that's the motto that I use every day, and I'll save the other 2 for another day. So for the further materials you do need scissors and a cradle. This is my handmade cup cradle that I made with popsicle sticks and leftover vinyl from your roll, and then just fabric. So here I am just unwrapping my glass cans, and I did get these from Etsy, and they have been sitting in my kitchen and I just haven't used them. The nice thing about UV DTF is that these come already printed off of a machine, and you just apply them as is, or you can cut them out and apply them on a glass can or a tumbler or any other hard surface, and they are good to go, and you don't have to seal them or anything. So that is really nice and great about these UV DTF sheets. And you do want to prep your glass cans using 91% rubbing alcohol or 70% rubbing alcohol. You'd want to use 70% or higher rubbing alcohol, because you want to get off all of the oil off of the glass, because you want to make sure that the transfer sheets adhere to the cup better, and you don't want to have any oily fingerprints on the glass disturbing the transfer process of the sheets adhering to the glass. So once you have that done, you just want to make sure you let the cup sit just for a few seconds. And here I am just showing you that you can use scissors to cut this out in this particular case, but you also want to also make sure that it is centered. I wanted to show you guys 2 different ways. You can use a squeegee. This is my DIY felt squeegee with just some felt fabric that I got from Dollar Tree and that I glued on with hot glue. And I'm just scraping it down and just pressing it down. And I'm also going to take my weeding tool, because that was the easiest way that I can get it off of the backing. And then I'm going to apply it onto my cup. This is the first way that you can do this, but I found that it is just not accurate unless you have an eye for speed. I do not have an eye for speed, and I already had bubbles in my transfer sheet. This technique isn't a bad technique. It's just as soon as you press it down onto the cup, there's just no turning back. I just know that I tried to lift it back up and there was just no turning back for me. So this is definitely an oopsie cup for me. Let me know in the comments if you've ever made an oopsie cup. So as you can see, I was trying to press it down with my finger and burnish that transfer sheet in there, and it just wasn't working. And I was trying to use my squeegee tool, and I also lifted up the design a little bit too quickly, and I also ripped a little bit of the image in the process. So with this method, you just want to definitely be careful with how you are handling the design. And you just want to make sure that when you set it on the cup, that you are for sure that this is where you want to lay it down. but you are more than welcome to take scissors and cut out your design as well and lay it on the cup too. So that is also another way you can do it. This is just one of the methods that I wanted to show you guys, that this is also something that you can do too. So once you have that laid on the cup, you just want to take your fingers and just go around it and just burnish it really, really well into the Libby glass, and just make sure that it is really adhered on there. And once it adheres on there, you just want to remove that film on the glass, and then it is all good. And this is the final look after I was done applying that transfer sheet. And this is on to the next transfer sheet that we have. And there is a different backing for this one. So we're just going to do the same process, but this process we're doing a different technique. And we are going to be doing the hinge method. And this method, we are just cutting the sides down to measure around the Libby glass. And we're going to cut up at the top as well, just to measure the top too. So this one I preferred a little bit more just because it reminded me of a tumbler, like a vinyl tumbler wrap that you would print from a printer, or like a fabric wrap as well. So I was in familiar territory. So once I was done trimming around the transfer sheet and sizing it, I was just taking it on my cup cradle to further make sure that it was just sized correctly, and I was getting ready to further adhere it to my tumbler. So for this process, you just want to remove the plastic backing from the paper backing, and you can just set it back down on your cradle just to keep the transfer sheet from moving. And sometimes you do have to just kind of move it around to make sure that it is centered and that it is just straight. I found that the hinge method was just a little bit better than just setting it on the cup and just, taking just a guess and making sure that it was straight. But then you want to take your scissors and you just want to cut away from that white backing, and you can just leave it on the cup cradle, or in my case, I like to pick it up and make sure that it is centered, especially because of that big bold words. And then you just want to take your finger, your thumb, and you just want to put down that clear backing and smooth it out. So once you lay one side down on your tumbler, you just want to figure out which way you kind of want to lay your tumbler, and I never can figure out which way, so it takes me kind of a few tries. But you do want to take your squeegee, or you can use your hands. In my case, I like to use both, but you just want to pretty much push that white backing off of the plastic backing or the clear backing. And it's just as if you were doing a tumbler, if you were doing a vinyl wrap on a tumbler, or in a sense, it's just in that process, in that order. And this is just as you are pushing out bubbles and you're laying it flat. It's just as you are adhering the transfer sheet to the tumbler, you're pushing out those bubbles. So once you get it all pushed out and flattened on your glass can or your tumbler, you just want to go around and you can take your squeegee tool and just pretty much flatten it and make sure there's no bubbles. And I just like to do that to ensure that the transfer sheet is just adhered pretty nicely on the can. And I just want to throw out there that my backing was not centered all the way. It was still a little bit off, but you can hardly even tell. You really can't tell. But you do want to make sure when you're doing this that your ends meet up, that they meet up pretty well. But this one wasn't as bad as my first one. The donuts and the heart one is going to be mine. But I do think that as a first time, I think I did pretty well. As you can see, there is that seam, and the seam is not as straight, but you can't really tell there. But like I said, I do live by this saying as my daily affirmation. And this is the one that's going to be a keepsake for me. There is some bit of a tear on that one, but you live and you learn. But I do think this one is pretty cute. I will definitely be ordering from Carolina again. I definitely recommend checking her out, and I will list all of her links down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and don't forget to like and subscribe and comment as well. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.